100 Days of Gratitude, day 85, and today I'm grateful for public lands, for play, for foraging, you name it. As important as private property rights are and have been in kind of pivotal turning point in kind of humanity and society, and especially in Western cultures that have really kind of pioneered that. It's so critically important, this idea of the public lands, the commons, and the role that that plays in our lives, in our societies. And I think I benefit from them the most, kind of in that recreational activities, be it, walking, hiking, biking, swimming, and foraging, right? Just having access to open spaces of nature, right, where one can freely be. And especially in Alberta, in Canada, we've got things like, well, national parks, you got to pay to be there, but more or less, right, it's access, and there's limited access. So bringing that further down, so there's on the national level, on the kind of the provincial level, you have things like Kananaskis and the public land use zones and provincial parks, and each has their own kind of logistics and regulations around it. But something like a public land use zone, right, the ability for me, to go out and to harvest. It's kind of, I don't want to say a free-for-all, because that would denote a kind of a carelessness of just kind of taking, but a public land use zone versus a national park, like I can go forage in that area, and I can do so responsibly. So love that ability. And then kind of on a city level, right, the municipal parks and the access that they provide. And I mean, it's a mainstay of my life. Every single day I am out in those spaces, going through those parks, utilizing them. And I just see, especially over the last few years, like massive increase in volume of people getting out and using them. So I'm a big advocate. And parks are great. Wild spaces are awesome. The more that we can keep and maintain and allow to flourish and thrive these public spaces, both the wild ones as well as the more kind of manicured, right? Like, absolutely, there's a place for fields and playgrounds, and that are just available for public use. And especially if you live in North America, and in particular Canada, we have some of the least dense populated areas, with some of the most vast amount of wild spaces, as well as just public lands. Obviously there's a huge amount of privately owned land, but we do and can and should be grateful for the public lands. So here I am, celebrating that, and getting out into them, enjoying them. So 100 Days of Gratitude, day 85.